everyone. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a print and cut. I love paper, and I've done a lot of the print and cut when I got my Silhouette. And this is like I love doing this. I love paper. So when I found out how to do the print and cut, it's awesome. You could use images from online. You could use images like your kids' pictures. You guys could do any kind of image that you could get online that you could put on your computer. You could cut it out on your Silhouette, and it's just really awesome. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. A lot of times when I post items on the Silhouette group, there's a lot of people that I think they do vinyl. So a lot of people are doing vinyl. I like to do the print and cut. So what I'm going to show you is how to start doing a print and cut. Okay, so let's get started. So once you go on your Silhouette, you want to get an image. Sometimes you'll go onto Google or you'll go on Safari, download an image. I'm going to do it step by step for those that don't know how to do it, just to go through it. So what I did is I went to Google and I put cute witches, and that's where I saw the purple image, the purple witch image. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, these are the ones that I like to look into it more. So I go to view more, and that's where I saw the purple witch, and I saw the black witch, which is the black outfit, and the purple outfit. So you click on the image that you like, then you go into view image, and here's where you're going to right click, save image as, and then you could save it at desktop. This is just the easier way to do it, is just to save it at desktop. If you want, you could save it on whatever file you want to save it at. But I'll do that, and then I'll label it witch, and then I'll put purple. So I'll know that it's a witch and it's a purple outfit. So then you go to save. I'm going to replace that because I've already saved it, and that you've already saved on your desktop. Once you go back to your Silhouette, you would go to File, Open, and you would go to the witch purple, which is right here. And that's the image that I want. So you open that up, and there's your image. I'm going to leave it big just so you guys will be able to see it better. So what you do here is you would first go to this little square over here. It's a square. It's yellow outing, and inside it's like a bluish green. It's called a trace window. So once you click the trace window, you will select the trace. These images here have a white background. A lot of them have a white background, some of them don't. But when you're doing projects, whether you're going to print and cut or you do other projects, I don't like to have that white background out there unless I'm going to do one big one and it'll fit that one page. But if I'm going to do a lot of little ones, then I like to take that out because then I could fit more images onto that one page, and you'll see later on how that works. So what I do is I'll put it out there. I'll click the trace, select trace area. I'll select the area, and then you could see the yellow highlight around the image. You go here to your right and you click on the high pass filter. Make sure you take that check mark out. Once you do that, you go to where it says threshold. Then you're going to hold and you're going to move that until it all fills in. Make sure that it's going to be, all the corners are clean edge. If you go too far, then it just looks distorted, and that's where the lines are going to be. They're just going to be all like crooked lines and squiggly lines. So what you do is you just go to your threshold and just try to make sure that the outing is all covered up and you have some clean lines there. So it's all covered up. It doesn't really matter how the inside is, as long as the outside you have all good lines around what you want to cut. Then you would go to Trace Detach, and that will take your picture. You click on the picture, you move it out, and that detaches it. You don't have a white background here anymore. You have it here. So this one we would delete, and you put this image back in there. So that's step one. The next step, you would go back to the trace area, select area. You select your area of your image. You would see the yellow lights on the sides. Click on the high pass filter, and your threshold, do the same. Just make sure it just covers everything and you just see it more clean cut. There you go. Once you do that, then you will click on the second one, which would say trace outline edge. So you want to trace the outline edge. Once you see that, you're going to see a red thin line that going across. That's where your silhouette is going to cut. Usually what I do is I have this. I have the little backing on the side. Let me see if I could. I have the white edges. So I like that white edge. It just makes it more of a clear cut instead of cutting it right on the line. So what I'll do is I'll click on the image and I'll just look at the numbers here. It says 8.368. So what I want to do is I want to get that first line that I did. So when I click on it, those numbers will change. So that's the same number, 8368, and the line is 8362. So you just got to make sure you get that. Once you click on that first line and you selected it, then you would go down here on the bottom left, and that's when you're going to see a box that says offset. You click on that offset and that gives you a second line. That's your offset line. And that's where you could, make it thicker, thinner, whatever. You go up and down to make it thicker, thin. I leave it at the 125. I think it's a good space in between. So once I do that, I leave it in round and then I put apply. Once I did that, when you pick your picture and you move it, you'll see two lines. You need to erase the first line because if not, it's going to cut the first line, it'll cut the second line. You don't want that to happen. So you put the picture back, Command Z, you have those two lines, and then you go back to that first line and make sure you look at the numbers here. If there's any other way that anybody does it, this is just the easier way for me, so I don't have to move her around. I'll click on the first line and I'll look at the numbers here on the side, the measurements, and I'll click on the first line, which that one's it. Once I selected the first line that I did, the first cut, I will delete that cut. If for any reason you delete her by accident, it's okay. Command Z will take you back in there. So you go to that first cut line, you delete that first cut line, and you're done. You have just that one cut line there. Okay? Once you have this, what I usually do, I do another offset because I like to have a black piece of paper in the background. So I just feel like it stands out more when the picture, you'll see the image. There's the image right there. So it just stands out more. It's more durable. You can put it on different projects that you do, and it's durable. It's nice. The color stands out even more. So once you want to do that, you can leave it like this, and you could print and cut just on the white paper and print and cut that. I usually do a second one for the back. So what I'll do is I'll select that outline, and I'll go down here to my left again. Or sometimes if you've already worked on it, it'll be on your right side, right here on offset. If not, you just go back down here and click the offset. So you click the offset, and that will give you a second line. And usually I'll just leave it like that because it's good. Sometimes I'll make it a little bit bigger. Let me make that just a little bit bigger. I'll go to 130, 140. I'll just do the 140. Once that's done and I like the separation, the distance, then I'll go to apply. So now I have my image. I have the white border that's going to be on the first print and cut, and then I'll do the black border. Once I have them like this, what I do is I just get them all together, and I will go here to the left. And here to the left, you would have a button that says Group Selected Shapes. So when you select it, you're putting them all together. So when you're moving them around, they're together. If you don't, then this is what you'll do. This is what you'll have. You'll move it around and you'll be like, oh my goodness, what happened? So I usually just grab all of them and I group them together. This is where I'll start to put the size that I want. And you could go through the measurements on the sides, or I usually put them here and I'll be like, okay, 3-4 inches. This is almost 4 inches. Okay, I'm gonna do it 4 inches. Okay, so what I do in this step is I'll just get closer so you guys will be able to see and I don't have to move anything around. So once you get to this step, you could see that you have all those three together. You click on it, you ungroup it, which is the second button, you ungroup it. And what you're going to do is you're going to just take the first one out. You just click on the first outline and you take that one out because that's going to be your black cardstock that you're going to put behind. Then you're going to left click and group these together because you want to have the image with your first cut line. And you would go down here and you would group it together. So there you have the two images. Okay. This here, this little red dot, I take it away because I don't want that dot, you know, that little cut to be there. So what I usually do when it's just one or two or a couple of them, I'll just go here to the erase, select the erase, and then just drag it and just take that off. Erase that little section. Go back here to the select tool and you're done. Let me put this back so you can see the full page. So this one here we're going to put to the side. Now you have the size that you want. So once you have the size that you want, the most important thing is you need to put registration marks on the sides because that's how you're going to print and cut. You're going to print it, and once you print it, you'll have these registration marks on the corner, and that's how your machine, your Silhouette, will know where to go to do the first cut. So to do that, you go here on the upper right hand corner and you're going to click on where it says registration mark windows. Once you click on the registration mark windows, you go to style, and I always pick the first one that says type 1. Once you click that, then you get these registration marks. Once you're here, you need to make sure that the image stays within those registration marks. It's usually the red line that you see around here, and this black line up here on top and the left corner. Just try to keep your image in there, because if you don't, if you leave it like halfway or you leave it on here, it's only going to cut what's inside the box, and you don't want to do that. So what you do is you're going to line it up to where you want it, and you, of course, you want to use up your whole paper because you don't want to, you know, like waste that paper. So what you do is you click on it, Command C will copy that image, and Command V will make more copies. So that's when you're going to place them around that. Don't place them too close. You want to give it a little bit of a room there. But this is how you're going to be able to put them here. Sometimes I have room for one more, but let's check to see if this one will be able to turn around. I don't think I'll be able to have room for this one. Sometimes I do, sometimes you don't. You just move it around to where you have the room. If you don't, just pull it to the side and delete it. So since you only have 4 that will fit in the page, just put them a little bit closer up, and then you're ready to print and cut. Usually what I'll do is I'll select the whole area, go down here to the left, and group the image, because you're going to go back and forth with these two. So then you print out, if you need to do 12 of them, you print out, you know, the copies that you need to do, print them out all at once. So it's like a little assembly line that you'll do. So you print all these out. Once you're ready to print, print, you just go to File, Print. It goes straight to your printer, and you're done. Once you come out of it and you put it on your mat and have it already loaded onto your Silhouette, then you do not move this. After you print it out, do not move this, because any movement that you do, it will mess up your cut when you put it into the Silhouette. Once you're done, you will go to the cut section, and it will highlight all the red that would be highlighted. That's where it's all going to cut. So once that's cut, you would just go down here, send to Silhouette, and it will go to your Silhouette. My machine's not connected right now, it's just for this video. So you would just go to the Silhouette, print it out, and you're done. Once you're done, then you could move this section out of the way and put these in here. And since you have 4, you could put 4. You put copy and then paste, 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 and you just move these around. But when you're gonna cut these, since it's just gonna be on the black piece of paper, red piece of paper, whatever color background you want, you need to make sure you take these registration marks out. You don't need the registration marks. Those are only when you print. So once you take those out, you just go back to that registration mark. you go to the style and you put off, and that's what you usually do. You just put off so you don't have no registration marks, and you're just going to cut everything out. So you can move these anywhere you want. You cannot, I usually do this. You could do more. You could fit more in here because you use most of the paper, and you could put more like sideways. But because I only have 4 witches here, I'm just going to need 4 black ones. If I do 5 or 6 of these, I still have to, you know, print some more with 4s. So I'm just going to leave it as a 4. So what I do is I usually group these together, go to the left, group it, and you're done. And then this one, you load your black paper, your red paper, whatever color paper you want. And then you just go to your cut, and you go straight to send cut file to Silhouette, and it just cuts that area. But once you have your images and your backgrounds cut out, what I usually do is I'll use this art glitter glue. Sometimes I use art glitter glue or Tomboy. I like Tomboy when I do cards. It just keeps them and gives you that wiggle room. Glitter glue does that a little bit too, but I'll use the glitter glue right now. And I'll just put, you know, just a thin layer around it. You don't want them to stick out. Put a little thin layer around it. You'll get your image. And you'll have that, like I said, the wiggle room, but you'll try to put it in the area so you still have that black border. So once it's down like this, usually what I do is I get a scraper and I just scrape it out just so it could just be firm. Sometimes the glue stays there and you can see the little wiggles on the back because you put too much glue or it dries up really quick. But that's what I usually do. And that will help it just to be smoothed out. I don't know, that's just something that I do. And then just put a thin layer because it does stick. And I will get one of the black backings. We'll line it up a little. You have that wiggle room if you need to move it around. Tomboy has a little bit more of a wiggle room, but this one's still good. And then I'll flip it over and I'll just scrape out. So just, if you put too much, you'll know you put too much because once you scrape it, it will have the glue on the sides, but that's okay. Usually the dry glitter glue will dry clear. So that's one thing that's good. I got this one at May Made It, and I'll put her link below. She does some great projects, and that's where I got this. And usually it doesn't ship out when it's really cold because it does something, I don't know, they just don't ship it out. So right now I think it's a good time for it to be shipped out if you guys are interested. You could also, it comes when you order it, you could order the fine tip, which is awesome because it just helps you manage it, especially when you have little corners that you need to go into, little detail, or you don't want to put that much glue. You just press out as much as you want instead of a big old clump, and then you have to use your fingers to have to spread it out. And I've done that a couple times before. So that's what you do, and once you start doing this, you just can't stop. You just start coming out with different projects to do for your kids and birthday and cards, and you're just going to want to give cards to anybody that you see because you get so excited doing all these different images, and it's really good. It's cool. It's really nice. It's really awesome. So I hope you liked the video. If you guys need any help on any other things, let me know and I'll try to see if I could do another video. Take care, have a nice day, and be nice to everyone.